later.
Now the show started. Now the show started. What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian Cosby, right out of Oklahoma City. We got my co-host, the Southern Flame, Don McIntyre, with us tonight. And then we have Jason from the band Orenda. What is going on? How are the both of you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Doing great.
Good. I'm
awesome.
excited.
How are you, man?
I'm always good. I'm always good when I start the show. Before I start the show, I'm like, do I want to do this shit again, man? Do I really want to do this? And then the intro song comes on, I get pumped up. I'm like, fuck yeah. We're going to do the show. All right. So, Jason, let us know about your band, Orenda. What does and I knew it meant something. I knew it had to mean something.
Okay.
Couldn't have just been a made-up word. So I went online, and I typed in Orenda. First thing I see is like a description of like powers or some shit like that. Human powers.
I've seen it put out a few different ways, but I think the easiest way we found to summarize it is it comes from a Native American word, and it's supposed to mean the power of human will to change the world. Also,
the power of humans.
Exactly. Like part of the idea is it's just something kind of internal in you that you just kind of have to manifest and kind of put out there. Like it's not some super abstract thing or like humanity. It's like literally you have it. Like just do it.
Yeah, that's it. So when you guys were thinking of band names, did like one person think of that name and you just went with it? I mean, obviously one person had to. Not everybody knew what that word meant. I remember
we had an enormously long list of names. We were just rattling off and going, nah. And I'd seen the word like on the internet somewhere. I mean, we've been a band a stupidly long time already. So God, it was like, I think I was on Tumblr.
Oh, is that still a thing, Tumblr?
I don't know. I mean, not really. I don't think. I mean, I haven't touched it in several years, but I mean, God, this would have been 7-8 years ago. And we were like, "Oh, that was kind of cool." We'll come back to it, and then like 3 days later, we're like, "Okay, yeah, that was the one."
Yeah.
Sorry, Sebastian.
No, go ahead, Don.
I noticed that you played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, so
that's something we just started.
honestly was wondering if the name might have been something to do with you gaming.
Oh no, I mean, we're all kind of nerds in this band, but no, the Dungeons and Dragons is a pretty recent thing of just we wanted to, especially with COVID and everything, we were just trying to do different streaming stuff like that. We couldn't quite find something that like stuck with us and seemed to resonate with people. And finally, we decided to do D&D, and it seemed like it kind of worked. And we're like, screw it, let's just keep doing it. This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, a lot. I said this. I forgot who was on recently though. I think maybe it was Sepsis when they were on. I was talking about because they're gamers and stuff like that also. And I think it's super important for bands to be in the gaming community because that gets you on Twitch. And when you're doing that, you can actually make friends with people on there and you're like, hey, check out my band. It's a way to advertise your music through games.
Well, it helps with the personal experience with the fans, with the bands as well.
When
they're playing and
I think nowadays having the personality and connecting with people is just as important as the music at this point. A lot of people become fans because of you. They don't become fans, or at least make a fan simply because they heard a song. Like it can work that way, but that doesn't seem like the way it is with a lot of the stuff. Especially you look at some of the artists that are coming up with TikTok now and stuff like that. It's all personality and the music secondary. Like whether or not that's my thing, like you have to acknowledge the atmosphere of the industry at that point.
I think it's important for people to get to know, especially when you're band and let's say you're not played on Octane yet, you're not on the radio. How you grow a fan base is really your personality, and if people like you, they're gonna want to listen to your music. Like there's tons of bands that have been on here, like their songs are okay, but I really like the person, so I like the band even more. There's some bands I'm like, I mean, your songs are good, but you kind of suck. So
yeah, exactly right.
That's never happened one time ever. What'd you say, Don?
If you've got like a deep personality, people is going to just kind of look at you like, well, I mean,
God, that's like even. I was gonna say, like, I I also work in doing live sound and stuff like that. And the amount of times I've like thought an artist was really, really cool. And then I have to like deal with them on a show. And I'm like, wow, you guys are assholes. Like, like it totally turned me off of it. Like,
oh yeah, man. Okay. So you and Winston started. You pause on me? Oh, no, okay, there you go. All right. You and Winston are the main creators of this band, right? So you guys got together, started playing music first. One's a guitar player, one's a vocalist. Did it start off kind of as an acoustic deal, knowing that you were going to get other band members and turn it into more of a metalcore metal sound?
We kind of knew it always wanted to be a metal thing. It was just kind of about finding the people, and we had definitely like written a couple songs and played around with like jamming with this person, seeing if it vibed and it worked, and so on and so forth. And at a certain point, we kind of went. Sometimes it's just better to vibe with the person than having them be the most amazing at that thing and having the energy as a group be there. So then we had brought in our bassist Zach, who had never played bass in his life. He learned to play bass for the band, and he does backup vocals too, which is something he had done on plenty of previously. He's more of a singer than a bassist, but
we needed a bass player. You already have
exactly.
Yeah. You want to be in the band, dude, you gotta learn the fucking bass. All right?
Yeah, right.
That's the easiest instrument. At least you didn't tell me you gotta learn how to play the drums. That would have sucked.
Yeah. No, that one was actually even a funny story. Is we had a dude who was in the band, and there was a whole thing where he had a super religious upbringing, and he was gonna like leave the religion and like join the band. Like he was gonna move in with me. And then, like, the last minute, he just decided, nope, I'm out, and like stayed. And then so like, what?
Because of religion, he decided to like really.
Yes. He was a Jehovah's Witness.
Makes sense.
But then, like, we had already had our first show booked, and we were like freaking out, and so we found somebody that was this really great fill-in guy that everybody told us was like the best drummer ever. And to this day, he's, at least in Arizona, the best drummer I know, bar none.
Nice.
And he played a few shows with us, and he was like, oh man, I really love you guys. Like, I think I want to stay permanently, yada, yada. And after a little bit longer, he kind of went, I still love you guys, but I think I want to do something different musically. And he wanted to do some crazy math rock stuff.
Mathcore.
But then we'd keep showing these, guys who wanted to try it, and he'd go, oh no, that dude sucks, like he can't hit like that, you don't want him. And after a while we're like, well, we need a drummer, like the fuck do you want us to do? And he's like, I will find you guys somebody. And he brought in Connor, who at the time was 3-4 years younger than us, had never been in a band, and he knew him from drumline in high school. And he's like, all right, he'll have to learn some things about playing in a band and playing in a group like this, but his fundamentals are more solid than anybody else you've shown me. And he's been in it ever since.
That's
nice.
Great. Can you give us, is it okay, Sebastian, for me to ask?
Go ahead.
Can you give us a formal introduction as a whole for the band now?
Yeah. So obviously I'm playing lead guitar. Winston's doing all the vocals, both the clean and the screamed. Zach is doing backup vocals and bass. Connor is on drums, and we have Sheldon on rhythm guitar, although he's comparatively a much more recent addition to the band. Where if the band's been playing shows for 6-7 years now, Sheldon joined years ago.
So still a while.
He's been around a while, but I mean, comparatively.
yeah, and no more Jehovah's Witnesses, right?
Yeah, no.
Because if you have to do a show, and Jehovah's Witnesses are gonna hate me. They're not allowed to watch my show anyways. It's okay. Like, you gotta do a show, but they can't because they gotta go knocking on doors to convert. But I wonder why someone would not want to be in a band for their religion. I mean, I guess unless you guys are swearing.
It was legitimately something about I at this point I can't even remember the full story, but it was legitimately like some of his life choices were so separate that he was like leaving his family behind. Like he was going to move in with me. Like he was going to detach completely, and he couldn't walk away from it at the last minute. So
that's hard to do, especially if you grew up in a really religious family. And he's not here to defend himself, so we'll quit talking about it.
And at the end of the day, like no flock on him. It was just one of those things. Like if that's what he wanted to do, at the end of the day, that's what he wanted to do. Like I'm not here to judge, but
Every time a Jehovah's Witness comes knocking on my door, I'm going to ask if they used to be in the band Orenda. There might be one time where someone comes to the door and says, "Yeah, that's me." All right, let's talk. And you know what? And your song, which I actually picked up before you got on, and Dawn mentioned it, or she mentioned the name, the Stained Glass Comforts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that song we're gonna play. I know it's not your newest song. It's not Emerald, but we will talk about that though.
Okay.
But this song, I'm assuming that it is talking about church. No?
Yes, but not in a way like related to what I just told you. This one, it was a story of Winston's. Is he had a friend growing up who he played a lot of music together with, and they kind of had a bond. They always were kind of like in a friendly competition with each other. They always want to be the first one to be in a band, the first one to go on tour, and so on and so forth. And they always try to challenge each other. And then right after high school, he was actually murdered. And Winston didn't really talk about it for a few years, but this was kind of him paying an homage to him, if you will, of like, hey, I wouldn't have progressed down this road if it weren't for you. And his friend was religious, and some of it was Winston's not, but it was paying homage to him in some of those ways of his faith and saying, hey, I got here because of you. Like,
well, that's cool. I mean, yeah, that's neat.
And speaking on the videos, since you're going to play it, it was, I don't know if all of it came across, but a lot of it was trying to kind of timeline those things he's talking about in the song and kind of paint this image of Winston being separate from everything and kind of attached in mourning, however you want to look at it. And by the end of the video, he's kind of found himself in the music and things like that. So that's why everybody's going so fast through him, and we're in church and there's the whole thing. And then in the middle scene, we're in a venue called the Rebel Lounge here, which funnily enough, Orenda hasn't actually played, but his friend always said was a venue in town. And that's where he always wanted to play, and they were going to play a show together there and the whole thing. And so we did a whole scene there. And then by the end, like we're on tour and we're in our practice space with all our flyers on the wall and the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so it just tells the story out in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I always told myself I wouldn't talk about politics or religion on the show, but I just kind of fucked that up, didn't I? So, all right, let's play Stained Glass Comforts right now. Brenda, you guys came out with this. Jason, you guys came out with this like 4 months ago, something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe 3, but yeah.
3 months ago. So recent. All right, let's play this song. Then let's talk about your new song, Emerald. But here we go right now with Stained Glass Comforts.
It was never meant to be.
Sorry, I can't scream. I can't scream at all. Dude, have you ever tried to scream in any of your music at all?
Years ago, and I realized I was not good at it.
Yeah, no, me neither. You just saw it firsthand. That's the best I could do. That's the best I could do. Yeah, go ahead, Dawn.
I was going to say, I really like the song, and here's why. It shows the vulnerability in human emotion. It's relatable. The screams are killer, but to hear him sing and to hear his actual voice along with it, and you can understand the lyrics, it's catchy. I like it.
Yeah, I like the fast pace to it. Why did you guys choose the fade out at the end instead of just like don't like stopping it? That's a really fucking good question. That's a good fucking question.
The really simple answer is we hadn't done a fade out before, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You gotta have one fade out. You gotta have one fade out.
With the chant and everything like that, it felt kind of right to just kind of like grace its way out instead of trying to curtail it like everything else we were doing, because we've done a lot of other big endings and hard stops and stuff like that in a lot of other songs. It was like, this one might work that way. Let's do it.
Were you guys like, let's fade it out and like high-fiving each other like, that's the best fucking idea we ever had? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like if I had a fade out song, I'm like, dude, if any song needs a fade out, it's this one. And I can just imagine like fist bumping everybody, like mosh pitting, dancing. Like, we got one. No,
that's what I felt about as small as it was, the like ooh ahs in there were that thing in there. Like, I liked a lot of stuff, but that was the last minute studio decision to add. And I feel like it added way more than I thought it would to the vibe we were trying to go for with everything.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, no, I that one's definitely a little punkier and a little outside the box for us, I'd say, in some senses, but we've definitely never had anything with that much punk beat in it by any stretch.
And, that's why I love punk. If you can't tell by the posters behind me,
yeah. I
also love metal and metalcore, and I like all kinds of music, but punk is my thing, and I like the fast pace. I thought it was really neat how Winston was sitting there like in a church pew and singing those like the band and things are going on behind him like super fast. Exactly. That must have been pretty fun to shoot. And were you guys like, all right, run by? Okay, your turn to run.
So all of those shots where we're all in different speeds than Winston, that is truly, we'd set up a tripod and film Winston once doing the scene with like a little like mini green screen behind him.
Okay.
and then film in the tripod like half an inch anywhere, like exactly the same, and film all of us doing whatever for 8 times as long as we film Winston for. So then you speed it up 8 times, it's now the same length, and you can drop Winston into that scene.
Nice.
Okay.
So truly every single cut where there's like a motion difference in there, we had to do like that.
Hell yeah, man. That's super. Do you guys have your own podcast? Does Orenda have a podcast?
No, we kind of started a little thing on Spotify that was just more of a fun take on something we were doing. We were trying to do a monthly Orenda mixtape where one of us picks like makes a playlist of stuff we've been listening to or it's like that. And Spotify introduced a thing with Anchor where you can kind of like drop in songs, and so we were just trying to make it like almost radio show style, where every few songs you give a little blurb about why I chose this and why I think it's cool, or what I'm jamming about. I just talk about stuff.
Right now, we're making. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead, Dom. Go ahead.
So just slammed down right now due to COVID. Yeah. Making the best of the media sources is
exactly.
It's use your resources to your advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and that was kind of the idea. Is it seemed like it was a really cool piece of content that didn't quite take the same level of like editing or filming work or whatever else compared to a lot of other stuff, and it was a good something to just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Were you guys able to tour at all? Have you guys been playing shows recently? And okay, 2 questions in one, right? Are you playing shows recently? And has the band gone on tour outside of Arizona?
At the moment, we're not really playing anything. There's some stuff in the plans, but nothing super concrete. And yes, we have toured. We've done a few tours before COVID. Actually, the last one we did was only a couple weeks before everything shut down. I think we came home on like the 1st of March or something.
Okay.
But the best way I could describe where we haven't toured is if you were to draw a line from Vancouver, Canada to Nashville.
Let me draw this line. Hold on. So you're up here in Vancouver, Canada, right?
Yeah.
And Nashville's like somewhere over here. Is that right? All right. Is that right? Does that look like Vancouver and Nashville to you?
I wouldn't say there was a curve in there, but I suppose, yeah.
This is a long ass drive.
Well, that's the tour. That's the tour.
Across the tours we have done, I'd say most anything the Arizona side of that line we've done.
So this side, I'll get my camera of the line.
Yes.
This side of the line over here. Okay. All right. So you played a bunch of states then?
Yeah, I think last I counted it was something like 30 cities, maybe.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man.
Nice.
What's the longest tour you guys went on, and was it like super uncomfortable at the end where you just couldn't wait to get home? Even though it was fun still, you were like,
the longest one I did was like 2.5 weeks.
That's a long tour. Well, that'd be long for me. I'm not in a band.
COVID canceled the 3-week one, so that.
Okay, gotcha.
But I was wondering about that. Like the whole thing was booked and everything. But no, for the most part, we've never really hit that hard stop on most of our tours where we're just like done with each other. If nothing else, I'll say that longer one was really cool because we had a bunch of off days in some really cool places, like places awesome. If we had to play shows those days, there's no way I could have gotten to see. But like we ended up with like too many off days, you know what I mean? Like I think we had like 2 shows drop, and we had like 4 days between Seattle and Sacramento.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's like a day drive. So 4 days was kind of making a long. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
We went out to like the coast of Oregon, and we drove through the redwoods and stuff like that. That stuff was super duper cool. But by the time you're on like day 4, you're just like, oh my god, I need to shower. Holy shit.
Yeah. And I forgot to ask you a question, Don. Do you remember what I was going to ask him after that song played? I remember because I wrote it down.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I swear to God. No, okay, we're going to talk about the song Emerald. I don't think we actually talked about the song Emerald yet. That's your newest single.
Yes.
That just came out like real recently here. And the reason why we didn't play it tonight, the music video, there's like a, I don't know if it's a lyric video, but there's like an animated kind of
call it a stream video. Yeah.
Okay, a streaming video. But you guys are coming out with the music video for that soon,
Yes.
Correct? Are you allowed to talk about it?
It is done.
It's done.
It needs to be scheduled. Yes, it is filmed. It is filmed. It's done.
Okay. Have you seen it?
Yes.
And that song is a little bit different from Stained Glass Comfort's less punky. Great song though. I think that's going to be a hit song, man. I'm excited for that song when it comes out for you guys. I think it's going to really grow your audience. And when you guys play that live, hopefully you guys. I know live shows are still happening in some places. Some places it's not, and some bands are still kind of on hold. But I think playing that song live is going to be fucking massive, dude. I bet it's so fun to play in practice as well.
Oh yeah, like just so much double kick, like just running, tremolo picking kind of parts and stuff like that. And also, I remember writing that one. I'm kind of glad it came out the way it did. If we did that song, Stained Glass, and the one that came out before it, Bitter, all at the same time, recording wise.
Okay.
And of those three songs, Emerald was the one that kind of, to me, is trying to put all the riffs together. Kind of felt a little Frankenstein, kind of like I just had a bunch of different pieces I had written separately that I was just trying to make work. And in the long term, it seemed like it worked out better than I thought it did at the time, truly. But
it always does. I always think my show sucks. I go back and watch it. That wasn't that bad.
I remember thinking it just felt so weird, and like I had so much different stuff going on. And I've had people tell me, like, "Oh, dude, it's my favorite one of them," and I was like, "Really?" Like,
that's how it happens. That's how it happens sometimes.
Because also, if nothing else, I think the chorus really struck me, and it really took Winston and Zach getting some time with it, and that really made all the difference to me. Because the chorus kind of has like an A part and a B part. And the A section was a really ridiculous kind of weird riff I wrote that I was just absolutely insistent in my head that had to be a chorus, and I was going to figure out how the hell to make it happen. And
yeah, you're on a mission, dude. Like, I got to get this done.
Exactly. Like I think it worked out, but it took a long while, and I still remember that. I think that was the last part of the song to get done because it just took the longest for everybody else to kind of get a grasp on as we're trying to put a product together.
So you just kind of force fit it in there.
Yeah, a little bit.
You force fit it, but then you like smooth out the edges.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits in there really. You know, everyone does that. And I appreciate the pity last earlier when I did that screaming thing. You guys just kind of sat there like, "Pity, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I felt bad and laughed, so I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Don, is there any questions you want to ask him? I got like one more question, but I'll let you kind of take the wheel for a second and ask something that maybe you want to ask before I ask my last thing and get off the show.
I do. I was actually curious of who does your visuals for you guys.
It's a mixed bag. For on that video, that was a guy out here named Lance Gergar. He did that one. He did the video for Bitter as well. And we've got a friend, Samuel Ponis, who is in a band called Marked Life out in California. He just did the one for Emerald that's coming out. But all of the, let's call it B content, like if you go on our channel, the guitar playthroughs, the stream video, stuff like that, I make all of those.
Cool.
Very nice.
That's cool, man. Okay.
So I like the visuals.
Thanks.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are neat. The last, I know I said they are neat. Like, all right, my turn now. I didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
Yes, you did.
I did it. So I said, I'm learning how to catch myself. I'm like, God, I'll watch my show. I'm like, I sound like a dick right there. I did not mean to. Okay, but people like to ask. People, yeah, good question. Okay, my turn. People always ask this question when I do a live show. So we're not live. We're obviously recording this. Going to air it on Friday, and it's Tuesday right now. I am going to ask you last question, and people love it for some reason. Inspirations to write music, bands maybe that you look up to, or kind of not really follow in their footsteps, but really enjoy and just inspire you.
Oh man, okay, that's a big question. Like, are you talking about me as an individual, the band as a whole, like stuff I grew up on, like stuff that's inspiring me now. Like
never
mind.
No, I'm just kidding. Like a band. You maybe not the band, maybe you personally. Maybe a band that inspires you, like, you know, Korn or I don't know. Just any band that inspires you. Deftones. Just kidding.
all right. I'll pick some names. I'll say in more recent years as I'm writing music, I've been really into Gojira. I think the way they structure a lot of their songs and the instrumentation really steps outside of the box and makes a lot out of not a lot, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I think they've really mastered kind of letting it speak for itself in a lot of ways and not having to build up this massive thing around it or overproduce it or think about things a certain way. I think it's a little more stream of consciousness with them than it is with a lot of people at this point. I also, myself and all the guys in the band, really love While She Sleeps.
Okay.
I think those guys, especially if you want to talk about the music business side of it, like they're really killing it. They've basically done a Patreon type thing, but taken it further than I've seen anybody else. And they've crowdfunded entire records and tours.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
They're really, really killing it. Like they came out with their thing, they call it Sleep Society, and they came out with a record and a song on the record called Sleep Society, and they announced the online thing with the song, and then they like got the people who joined it to like sing on a recording that's on one of the tracks on the record.
That's awesome. Cool. I could have sworn you would have said like 311.
Oh,
you sound nothing like 311. You have no reggae. I don't think you have any reggae. Any reggae in your music. I do want to ask you this though. Last question. This is the last question, actually. Like the last one. Anything that you want to talk about? I know you got some merchandise. You got your website. I said it didn't work, but it does work on my phone. It didn't work, but it does work on the computer. That's orendaofficial.com. Do you guys have merch on there and anything else that you want to talk about before you get off the show to represent your band?
No, I mean, yeah, we got the website, we got merch. We're doing stuff on Twitch at least once a month with the D&D. Obviously, we'll have the Emerald video out pretty soon. Everybody should check that out. And yes. I'd say if you're not familiar with us, if you want to get better affiliated, go listen to those 3 newest songs, and that's probably the best stamp you could possibly get on us. I don't know, man. It's simple. Check out the music. Check out the merch if you like it.
Personally, I am looking forward to the Emerald music video. When I'm pretty sure I subscribed to you on YouTube. If I didn't, I'll do it right after the show. I think I normally subscribe though when I'm watching the video, but I'll make sure I did that because I want to see it because I already like that streaming video you guys have and the last video that you guys made. So I'm really curious to see what this one's gonna look like. So great job, great music, a band from the Phoenix, Arizona area, Orenda. Check them out. Go buy their merch. Support them. Download their music for God's sakes and support their drummer who's new but not that new to the band. The guitar. That was the drummer. The guitar. You're the guitarist. You're the guitarist, but I was giving a shout out to the newest member.
No,
you're
the other guitarist.
Oh, the other guitarist. So support the drummer and the other guitar. You know what? Just don't even listen to me anymore, all right? Except for listen to this. I don't want either of you to go anywhere. I want you to stay right there until after the outro song's done. Please go to www.theloudspot.net. Also, we just started a Patreon page. You can go to patreon.com/theloudspot. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. We're on all platforms. We have some more news that's going to actually be out tomorrow, and I know it's Tuesday, so technically it'll be in the future. But I want to make sure I'm going to say it right, so I'm not going to say it tonight, but I will say it tomorrow night on what I say tomorrow night, but it'll be Friday. Anyways, I'm fucking done talking. I'm done with the show. You guys stay right there. Peace out. Rock on. Much love.
Bye, guys.
This is the Loud Spot outro by nothing short of tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does nothing short of tragic have us back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. A pin post has to pin show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.
Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to click the like and share button.
Don't forget to go to our YouTube and subscribe.
If you want to listen to our audio and pick up some cool merch, go to www.theloudspot.net. Peace out, rock on, much love.